Welcome to something to talk about.
Yeah, really loud.
Welcome to something to talk about.
Hi, welcome to Something to Talk About. My name is Taco, and this is Saturday morning. We are talking about a Song of Ice and Fire character, and guess what? We got Jason Mallister. That's right. We're going over to the wall. We're going to the Shadow Tower, actually, because he is commander of the Shadow Tower, rival to Cotter Pyke, and man of the watch. Yeah, great character. I haven't covered him or Cotter Pyke yet, and I'm gonna eventually cover both. And I chose Mallister first, so there's the Cotter Pyke fans are like, really? Jason Mallister first? Yep. Sorry. That's the way the mop flops. I'm saving Cotter Pyke for later. Honestly, I think I like Cotter Pyke more, but neither here nor there. Let's get into it. Who's Jason Mallister? Wait. Oh, well, first off, what's going on? Pause this. Read this. Right? Okay, cool. Done. All right. Now, Jason Mallister is a knight from House Mallister. Imagine that. And a member of the Night's Watch. He has served as Lord Commander of the Shadow Tower since 267 AC. Jason is the uncle of Jason Mallister, Lord of Seagard. I got a video for Jason Mallister, and it's like one of my most watched videos, so go check it out. It's good stuff. I'm assuming it's good stuff because it's one of my most watched videos. Yeah. So Jason is an old man with blue-gray eyes and a long white beard. He has lost almost all of his hair, and his face is deeply lined. Jason still has his teeth, so that's good for him, and is graceful in his movements. He clasped his black cloak with a silver eagle. He wears black velvet doublet with sable trimming the collar and accenting the sleeves. Why did I go so hardcore with his appearance? Jason is courteous and well-spoken due to his high-born roots. He is also considered cautious and chivalrous, right? Jason is proud of his Mallister upbringing and experienced, and he writes with a flowing hand. He enjoys sweet wine. Yeah, he's very. I've been in this world for like a long time, and I enjoy sweet wine. That's Can't you tell by my bald head and giant gray beard? No, not at all. But I like Jason Mallister. Due to growing up at Seagard, he distrusts the Ironborn, and he considers Cotter Pyke, the commander of Eastwatch by the Sea, to be uncouth and uneducated. Both of those things are true. Cotter, meanwhile, thinks of Jason as a preening eagle and does not consider him to be a warrior. Oh, man, really? In the television adaptation of Game of Thrones, he is played by J.J. Murphy. So, this could have been a let's talk about the difference, but he's not big in the show, and he's just in like one or two scenes. So I'm just going to do him. Just going to do it here straight up. I'm just going to do it live. So, yeah. All right. What do you guys want to talk about first? The Night's Watch or House Mallister? Because normally, my second slide is their house, but he's part of the Night's Watch. So, yeah. This is, let's go Night's Watch. Night's Watch is a military order dedicating to holding the Wall, an immense fortification northwest or northern border of the Kingdom of the Seven Kingdoms, defending the realms of men from what lies beneath, mostly snarks and grumpkins. The order's foundation dates to the Age of Heroes, and at the time the others were pushed back, maybe, or sure, or who knows, it was a long time ago, we don't really know. The men of the Night's Watch wear only black and are known as the Black Brothers. Recruits who join the watch are said to have taken the black. Why is that pink? You are asking, why is this pink? Well, I first did this card when I covered Satin very long ago, and I didn't save the file, so I can't just like move it over. I just saved the picture, so I just used the picture. Are you also wondering why this is purple and not black? Same. But when I covered Jason Mallister. House Mallister. House Mallister is Seagard of the Seagard is the most prominent noble house from the Riverlands. Yeah, it's a very important house. Seagard is a fortress built to defend the coast against the reavers from the Iron Islands and dates from before Aegon's conquest. House Mallister has a prouder lineage than most liege lords. House Tully of Riverrun, the lords paramount of the Trident. Of their liege lord. So Mallisters have a longer and prouder tradition lineage than the liege lords House Tully, right? The Mallisters are famously distrust the Ironborn, which we're going to get to. Their heraldry is a silver eagle displayed on a purple field. Their motto is above the rest. They're super arrogant, but I mean, they're kind of great. Like, I love Jason Mallister and I love Dennis Mallister, or Denny's Mallister. Like, they can be arrogant. Dude, one of them's got the winged helmet. Like, they're really cool. They're really cool, dude. I like them. I like House Mallister. The Shadow Tower. So Dennis was born Denise. It's Denise, right? I'm going to say Dennis. I don't know why. Denise was born at Seagard to a lord of House Mallister. He was a squire at 12 and a knight at 18 and a champion at 22 years old. He once unhorsed both Samor Tully's grandfathers, both of their grandfathers, Alistair Florent and the father of Randall Tarley, at the same tournament. Yeah, he says that to Sam later on. He's like, dude, I knocked over both your grandpas. Get on my feet. That's what he says. When Dennis joined the Night's Watch, he was assigned to the Order of the Rangers, and he has been a commander of the Shadow Tower since 267 AC, more than 30 friggin' years. Yeah, long time. The Knight has considered becoming a Lord Commander in the Night's Watch, but the last two elections, he yielded to first Commander Corgyle and then Jeor Mormont. I mean, Jeor Mormont kicks butt, right? So, Mance Rayder, one of the rangers at the Shadow Tower, was once wounded by a shadow cat once when he was a ranger. Was once wounded by a shadow cat during an exposition north of the wall. A wildling woman nursed him back to health and repaired tears in his cloak with silver silk. When Mance returned to the Shadow Tower, Dennis ordered him to burn the cloak and only wear the black cloaks of the Night's Watch. Dennis' stern order influenced Mance's decision to desert the Shadow Tower and the Night's Watch the next day, joining the Free Folk and living beyond the wall, and later becomes the knight or the king beyond the wall, right? Like, that's Mance. We're gonna get to him later. So yeah, once Mance gets attacked, his cloak gets ripped. A wildling sews on a patch, shows up, and Dennis is like, "Yeah, burn that. We don't do patches here," or something. And then Mance is like, "Well, I do. Deuces," and then he leaves. That's what happened. Ravens and reports. Sir Dennis writes to Jeor Mormont reporting that wildlings from the Frostfangs are moving south, slipping past the Shadow Tower in numbers greater than ever before. Was that a good voice? You guys like it? Dennis sends another raven to Jeor, informing him rangers from the Shadow Tower have found whole wildling villages abandoned, just straight up. And at night, huge fires have been sighted, blazing the mountains from dusk till dawn. In the depths of the gorge, which we'll get to, the George. Corn Halfhand, one of Dennis's senior rangers and complete badass legend, captures a wildling who says that Mance Rayder is secretly massing wildlings. Yeah, he's getting an army together. He's putting the band back together. During the Great Arranging, when Jeor and the group from Castle Black stop at Craster confirms for Lord Commander Mormont the reports of Dennis and Corin that Mance has been gathering wildlings, and he adds that Mance has been doing so in the Frostfangs. Yeah, he is putting the band back together. What? Dang. Ooh. All right, man. Bridge of Skulls. This is great. Pycelle brings Tyrion and Tywin, so we're flipping over to King's Landing. Okay? All right. Got it? Got it? All right. Pycelle brings some Lannisters, lame Lannisters, a letter from Bowen Marsh from the Night's Watch, speaking about Grumpkins or something. News that Gior is most likely dead and that the wall will be most likely attacked soon. But since the letter speaks of 5 kings, he goes, and I'm sending this out to all 5 kings. Tywin rejects it. It's like, 5 kings? There's only one. It's my crappy grandson. Come on. Tywin and Pycelle wanted Janos Slynt in charge of the watch. It's like, well, we're sending Janos, right? We should put him in charge. Tyrion advises his father to deal with Denys of the Shadow Tower or Cotter Pyke by Eastwatch by the Sea rather than Janos Slynt, because Janos sucks. Tywin dismisses Denys as a Mallister of Seagard, and he would not serve his purposes. Yeah, he's like, well, we don't. Like, I don't hang out with the Seagards, like, man, the Mallisters. We're not friends. He's not going to work for me, but Janos will. Keep up, Tyrion. As Mance marches south, he sends forces to attack all over the wall. And this prompts Bowen Marsh, the Lord Stewart, Castle and Castle Black, to march with a garrison, taking most of the fighting men still remaining there. Okay, so what did I just say? Let me explain it. So Gior takes everybody in this great ranging, right? A big inn. They go to the Fist of the First Men and they do great ranging stuff. Watch my Thorin and Smallwood video, right? And they're up there. And then the wall starts getting attacked. So Bowen Marsh is the head steward there, right? And he's kind of the highest up because everyone else is gone. So he takes a little bit of fighting men and he starts chasing these people, the wildlings who are attacking, and he chases them all the way to the Shadow Tower. Crazy. Where was I? Most of the fighting Bowen leaves only old and the green and sickly, so old and young and sickly behind to defend Castle Black. Bowen chases wildlings to the Shadow Tower and beyond into the gorge. When the Reaper tries to cut his way across the gorge with 300 free folk riders, Bowen Marsh and the Night's Watch confront them on the Bridge of Skulls. It is a bloody battle, but more than 100 brothers of the Watch are slain in this engagement. Along with them, Sir Andrew Tarth and Sir Aladane Wench. Crazy. Bowen is seriously wounded in the battle during Mance's attack on the wall. Denny sends word of this fight, the Bridge of Skulls, back to Castle Black. So John and everybody else is still at Castle Black, and then they start getting attacked by Fens from one side of the wall and Mance's men from the other side of the wall and all this stuff. And then they get a word from Shadow Tower like, yeah, the Bridge of Skulls, nuts, dude. It's been crazy. So yeah, all that stuff's going on. All right, ready for an election? I'm not. I'd rather be voting than the one in the books. Oh my God, get out and vote. I said I'd rather be doing it, but that doesn't mean I don't vote. Everybody vote. Come on. Denys leaves the Shadow Tower to attend the choosing of the next Lord Commander to replace Gior, who was slain at the Mutiny of Cresser's Keep, traveling with a wounded Bowen Marsh and other survivors to the Bridge of Skulls. This party happens across Samwell, Tarly, and Gilly on the road, a day and a half from Castle Black. They speak on the attack of the wall, informing Samwell of what he missed. Oh my God, you've been gone since the last book? Let me tell you what you missed. No, it wouldn't have been the last book. It was the beginning of this book. Yeah, he's not gone for a full book. They find a Castle Black changed and half destroyed, right? With Queensmen and Stannis supporters all over the place. Yeah, like Sam's like, who are all these people? What's with the burning burning cross. Oh no, burning heart for Lore. Oh my god. During the breakfast, 10 days into the vote, so it's been going for 10 days. Stannis calls everybody because he likes it when people watch him eat breakfast. He's a sicko. No one has received 2/3 of the vote yet. King Stannis has brought several of the Black Brothers before him to make it known his anger about them taking too long. He's like, it's taking too long. Select a new Lord Commander already. Janos Slint claims that the men of the Watch are just simple soldiers and could use the guidance of the king. What are you doing here, buddy? This outrageous some men. Yeah, Cotter Pyke is like, what? It's like, oh yeah, you need his permission to wipe your booty. Like Cotter Pyke said something about that. And then Dennis says the choice of a Lord Commander belongs to the Sworn Brothers and them alone. Janos, waiting for an endorsement from Stannis, gets the opposite, or wanting an endorsement from Stannis gets the opposite. He's like, we work together. I was at King's Landing. Tell them how great I am. And Stannis is like, really? You sucked. Let's talk about it. I tried to get you fired, but Robert likes you for some dumb reason. He gets the opposite, and Stannis just talks about how much he sucks. Stannis says that they need to pick because, quote, we have a war to fight. This pisses people off too. Dennis reminds him that the Night's Watch takes no part in the wars of the Seven Kingdoms. For 8,000 years, and Stannis is like, yeah, I know. And he tells them that he will not make them fight in the war. Stannis asks for castles and the gift. He's like, no, I want land and castles. The ruined castles to and hold them to hold the wall. Yeah, he wants to put people in charge of the castles and hold the wall. Melisandre and Stannis warn them of the real fight against the others. They're like, yeah, there's a real war about to happen, and it ain't this one. Okay. And yeah. And that's it. There's more back and forth, but this is getting a little long. Campaigning. Dennis is a leading candidate to become the next Lord Commander, along with Cotter Pyke. Collecting 213 votes. By the time only 7 candidates remain in the race because of their support between them, it is divided. Janos Slint appears to be a potential alternative. Yeah, so it's like Cotter and Dennis are taking most of it. Like, I think like Three Finger Hob, the cook, gets like a couple votes. Like, it's like somebody voted for Dollar his head or something, right? I think Bow and Marsh, but it starts to get down to pretty much just these 3 guys. Dennis and Cotter and Janos Slint. Samwell Tarly meets with Cotter first in the Shield Hall, who claims Dennis is too old. Yeah, Cotter's like, yeah, Dennis is too old. Cotter won't support Dennis because he still says he doesn't want the job. Oh yeah, he doesn't support Dennis Mallister, but he says, I don't want the job, but I'd rather have it than Dennis Mallister have it. That's what he says. He's like, I don't really want it, but I can't let a smelly Mallister get it. A snooty Mallister. I'm a Mallister. Yeah, no one wants that. That's what he says. He's like, I'm gonna suck, but not as much. So Samwell tries to get him to pick someone else. Samwell then meets with Dennis in the Lance. Though Samwell thinks Dennis is old as hell, he still thinks he's very graceful and courteous. He's like, kind of cool guy. Although Dennis still says Pyke should withdraw, he goes, some matters cannot be settled by a battle axe. Dennis says and continues, the Lord Commander is a lord, first and foremost. He speaks with royal blood. Sorry. That's not still part of the quote. He goes, he's a lord, all right? The Lord Commander is a lord. He speaks of his royal blood and Pyke's discourteous nature and warns them that Ironborn are a race of pirates and thieves. And then speaks of Pyke's illiteracy. He's like, homeboy can't even read. Dennis also objects of the candidacies of Yarwick, First Builder, and Bowen Marsh, and the Lord Steward, along with Slint. Sam brings up Jon Snow. He's like, well, what about Jon Snow? Sam then lies to Dennis and Cotter. I don't know why I wrote it this way. He lies to both of them that Stannis Baratheon plans to name the other as Lord Commander, and he successfully persuades each of them to support Jon Snow instead. Yeah, he says that they can. There can be honor in a lie. Jon told Samwell. So yeah, he's pulling a bamboozle. He's bamboozling them, right? Because they both are like, I don't want to do it, but I can't have him. And the other one's like, I don't want to do it, but I can't have him. And he's like, well, what about Janos Slynt? And they're like, well, we definitely don't want Janos Slynt. It's like, what about Jon Snow? They're like, Jon Snow's a little wet behind the ears. And it's like, well, Stannis told me that if you don't do it, Cotter Pyke's going to get it. And then he goes and tells Cotter Pyke, well, if you don't get it, Jason Mallister's going to get it. So maybe you guys should, like, you know, give it to Jon Snow. So that's it. That's how Jon Snow gets all the votes. And then he wins. I'm not covering the rest of the election. I'm just covering this part, the part that they're there for. Yeah, and then Jon Snow, with the help of a bird, it's an awesome scene. It's such a great chapter. Gets it. And yeah. Another attack. So now he goes back to the Shadow Tower, and Denny sends regular ravens to Castle Black requesting additional men. He writes back to express disappointment in the 10 untrained wildlings sent from Molestown by Jon. He's like, you're sending me 10 untrained wildlings. Not very cool, bro. Denny sends reports of fires in the night north of the gorge. And he believes wildlings are amassing a force to take the Bridge of Skulls again and then march on the Shadow Tower. Denny's later writes of seeing great camps of wildlings in the mountains beyond the Shadow Tower. Tormund Giantsbane believes that it's the Weeper, and he's leading the force. Yeah, so, yeah, it looks like the Weeper might try again. All right. I did a video on the Weeper a long time ago. I'm about to bring that up. But, yeah, think adjacent characters, Jason Mallister and then the Weeper are like the ones that are like kind of closest to Denys Mallister that I've covered, and just a few other wildlings. And yeah, just a lot. Check out my Beyond the Wall stuff. All right, theories. Not too much. I found a Reddit post 9 years ago by Crimson Bike 22 that asked why Dennis is at the wall to begin with. Comments on that post speculate it, but yeah, with the Silent Prince thinking that it was like a second son type deal, kind of like, you know, like Waymar Royce, he's the third son, but yeah, you get what I'm saying. That's possible because Jason Mallister's father is Dennis's older brother, or yeah, right. So Dennis is the second son, right? It does seem more like First Man or Northerner thing, right? Like maybe, but they are like an ancient and proud house with a sense of duty to protect against invading forces. So it kind of tracks. Yeah. The Mallister's whole thing is that they protect against Ironborn, right? So maybe when he's like, I'm not going to be able to do too much here because Jason Mallister's dad's going to be in charge, and then later Jason, maybe I should just go, right? And also, the Watch is kind of a good fit for him because it's about protecting the realm against invading forces. So it kind of fits Mallister's because it's kind of what they do back at home, right? You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? The final thing is a small prediction. So like I said in the Weeper vid, so go check that out. I do see the Weeper taking the Shadow Tower in his second attack on the Bridge of Skulls. So I do think the Weeper's going to try again because he is massing forces over there, and I think he's going to succeed this time. For all the reasons that I said in the Weeper video, and I'm done. This video has been long enough. It's almost 30 minutes, so go check out the Weeper video if you want to know more about kind of my prediction about the Shadow Tower losing to them. But that's Dennis Mallister. What do you guys think? How many times did I say Dennis, and how many times did I say Denise? It is. I should have just said Dennis. Just screw it. Yeah, that's what that was it. Really cool character, and plus I like all elections. Like I did a King's Moot week last year and covered all the King's Moot people, and I thought about covering characters who ran for the Night's Watch, but I think I'm eventually gonna cover Yarwick, and I'm eventually gonna cover Cotter Pyke. Maybe Bowen Marsh one day. He's kind of a really big character. But yeah, I started with Dennis Mallister. Yeah, so that's it. What do you guys think? Who do you voted for? What do you voted for, Jon Snow? Do you let birds control you? All right, that's all I got, guys. And yeah, peace.